Now, in terms of the views, I think, of many people, I mean, with business, it's been very difficult. Most businesses fail, even in the online environment, because there's so much technicalities involved, and the building a website, delivering your content, and just capturing the attention, especially these days with so much opportunity and noise on social media. If that's been a concern, then you can put sort of that fear to rest. There's going to be work involved with this, as I say, but the systems currently haven't been working. If you feel like the corporations and like the banks and governments and the education or media don't want you to succeed, then you've probably got the right attitude there, because there's reasons they are the way they are. So what we're here to do is show you a way where you can hopefully break free of that, and again have something more impactful and purpose-driven at the end of the result with this program. Now, some statistics, and I haven't sourced these. Tony Robbins actually has mentioned this in a lot of his videos, where and like this, you can treat this for what it is, believe it or don't believe it, but 27%, and this I think was America was talking about, university students that finish their 4 or 5 year degrees, or some of them if they want high distinctions or go to the next level, I mean 27% of those actually get placed into a job in their chosen field that they've studied. And out of that 27%, 50% hate their jobs. Whether that's been a kid that's been born into a family of doctors that got forced to go down that road and he's actually more interested in painting or music or something. But a lot of people, well, that equates to 13% of people that are actually satisfied in their jobs. So that's a lot of unsatisfied people. And I think in a world that where most of water and our energy, we're connected, if we've got that many people unsatisfied and stressing out with the way the world's going, and so much noise and so much shit being rammed down our throat on social media and in the on news and what have you, then it's not a good scenario. There needs to be a pivot and a change. So, but unfortunately, going far past that job scenario, the alternative is going into business. Now, as you can see here, and again, I haven't bothered sourcing all this because there's no point. People, if you're watching this, you should know most businesses fail. Apparently, it's 20% in their first year, 30% in the second year, 50% after 5 years, and 70% fail in their 10th year. And that, even if they're successful, doesn't mean that they're actually profitable. But you can see more than 90% of all internet businesses end in failure in the first 120 days. So we've got a 90-day program. It could, be a 120-day program. Might make it that now, given that statistic. But at the end of the day, these are your alternates to go and take risks, go into business, go into online business, try and work it out, compete with all the noise and all that stuff that's out there. So this whole program has been designed in a way to make this as seamless as it possibly can be. Have I got the proof yet of all this connecting of the dots and systems that I've put together that I think is going to help people? No. But it's starting to work for me, and I've seen many other people that it's worked for. They've made a lot of money, and I don't see why we can't be part of that. So, and unfortunately, we have to invest this time and energy into working things out and building a business of this framework, of this nature. Like, I don't care if people compete with Unified Purpose and build this exact program. Preferably you partner with us, but the more people, that are building businesses of this nature, we've got a changing landscape with converging exponential technologies like artificial intelligence combining with robotics. You can see an example here on the right in terms of manufacturing. And ultimately, there's that connection there from humans to start working with machines and robotics and using augmentation and virtual reality to operate in different roles and jobs. So AI, there's concerns of job loss and what have you, but it's also technology that's creating new opportunities and jobs. So, and then again, 3D printing, quantum computing, which is starting to progress now, and that's going to advance artificial intelligence. digital biology. They're, our extending our lifespan. So, they're able to 3D. I spoke to a guy. I'm going to bring him in for an interview soon. He's got a patent for 3D printing a liver. Something I might need in the future since I've and blockchain, which needs a bit of work, but it's getting there. Nanotechnologies and sensors to take that virtual reality environment and give us that sense of we're real, we're connected, and we've got plans within our headquarters, the music studio, to have a really good sensory-driven experience with some of these technologies. But anyway, they're converging and they're disrupting, changing, flipping, eliminating industries. So jobs and business have already been shit. I think it's going to get better because it's going to be funner working with some of this stuff. We can automate some of these repetitive tasks and what have you. But we do need to be aware of this change. That's a big component of this program, and our mindset is to really be aware that these technologies on their own, like artificial intelligence on its own, is powerful and getting better. And then when you start combining that with robotics and 3D printing, digital biology and nanotechnology with sensors, you've got 5 techs there that, what you can do is just mind-boggling. So a lot of what I'll be doing moving forward after this program's recorded is just going and bringing in the expertise into our community to ask questions, to understand how we can all participate in the opportunities and the abundance that's ahead from these technologies. So we are working in things we're satisfied. We're satisfied. We're not having the risk in business and fail. And we can support ourselves in that process. The other thing to factor in that there's 3 billion people coming online, like Facebook, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. I think Bezos is in the race as well now. They're putting satellites up. I know Zuckerberg bought a drone company back 5 years ago, and he's providing internet to certain areas in Africa with the drones flying around. But very soon they'll be connected. Zuckerberg, he's putting a lot of satellites up with his ships right now, and I think he'll be the one to connect the world to the internet and provide it for free. And we're talking 5G, like really lightning speed internet, where they've got access to a phone, they've got access to equal opportunity, the same as what Bill Clinton had when he was in presidency. They'll have access to through the cloud and through their phones. So these people also do become opportunities they'll want knowledge, and there'll be another opportunity for you if you're in the knowledge business to help those people that are coming out of real sort of mostly third world countries that, that's really purposeful and impactful and meaningful for your life if you can focus on even helping just those 3 billion people. That's a massive market. And again, like with the opportunities with technology and the knowledge business, right, you have the opportunity to focus on just things that you are passionate about. And there's different things out there talking about passions to profit and working your passions and purpose-driven entrepreneurs. But what does that mean? We can have purpose in a lot of different things, but ultimately I think, personally, my view is that we need to think about the knowledge business being combined with this change with technology. And the foundations can be definitely set with your knowledge business, working in that scenario where you can have all your answers, get a traditional online business sort of set up, but then, really when you're designing your life with the process we sort of explain in this mindset module, just have it all mapped out in the way that this is where you're at, this is what you can deliver. I'm going to bring other people in, experts, to provide you with information, and you're learning as you go as well, and you're able to, basically the creativity part is a combination of, you can find an expert that has the answer if you don't, or there's a very good chance that soon you can ask Siri and have the answers and, automate the implementation of that answer if it's a business case, etc. So, again, this creativity, being around doing stuff that you're passionate and interested in, being real and authentic with where you're at with when you're selling and saying, this is where I'm at, this is my mission. I've got involved with Future You, now I think this way. Again, through the goal setting and the process of this is where you're at, this is where your 10-year goal, and this is where I'm heading. People can back your mission and your movement. It all sort of is connected. So think about that the ability to just be, put that back on silent, to just be creative and be able to ask a question and get the answer. That's, the times ahead. So think on evolving your creativity and that mindset.